Hello everybody, welcome back to Hidden Harvest with Liz. Today we are going to be what-ifing, and you might be asking yourself, what is the next holiday what-if that we are going to be taking a peek at? Today is what-if White Christmas? Basically, what if it snows? Or for folks who deal with snow, that this is your normal everyday life, what if blizzard? What if Jack Frost? So I'm going to go ahead and say we live in the South, and down here, whenever there's like an inch of snow on the ground, the entire town shuts down. No joke. It actually happens. As a matter of fact, whenever we know that a storm is coming that might produce ice or snow, for some reason we all line up at the store and get our milk and bread. I still have no idea why we get our milk and bread. Maybe bread soup? Milk sandwiches? I don't know, but we get it. Every single one of us do. I still don't understand why this is a thing that we do. But what if White Christmas? So obviously the very first thing is what if White Christmas? What if the inspiration is Day After Tomorrow? For those of you who have not seen that movie, it's actually a very good movie. I have to say that's the biggest snow I have ever seen. And then one thing that we could possibly do about snow. Well, depending on where you're at, snow means different things. There could be places that are completely used to having lots and lots of snow. As a matter of fact, are probably used to having to shovel themselves out of the house on a regular basis. And then there are places where getting snow once a year, possibly every 3 or 4 years, could be completely catastrophic. We had, let's see, the last time there was an actual, what we would call a blizzard, which is like 4 inches or so on the ground. People were stuck on highways. Nobody can move. I mean, like, school buses were stuck on highways with children left in them because, now, I'm pretty sure all of them survived. It's not actually Day After Tomorrow, but those preparations are not there for the South. Like, we have 1 or 2 salt trucks for the entire county. So if your area is snowed in, chances are it's going to take a while if you live out in the country to get back out of your house. If you live in the city, the streets will probably get salted, but you can't really go anywhere anyway because most of the people who work in most of the other places like the Walmart, the McDonald's, the whatever, probably aren't at work because they couldn't go anywhere. None of our vehicles have chains on them, and it would probably do more damage than good to try and put chains on a vehicle whenever we've got like 3 inches of snow. So everybody just kind of hunkers down and waits for it to thaw out. I have to ask, do you have enough food to last until you can get back to the store? There's one concern. What if you don't have enough food? What if the electricity goes down? Because in a lot of places, the electricity usually does go down. Whenever it hit Dallas not long ago, people were out of power for a week, 2 weeks? I don't even know how long it took. Just about every single time we've had an ice storm here, our power was out for at least a couple of days. So what do you do in that case of no power and it's snowing? How do you stay warm? How do you prepare food? How do you... all of those things. I'm what-ifing a lot of things in that. So there might be a thing where you've got one thing covered, but you haven't thought of another thing, and in which case this what-if might be for you in a different way than it will be for other people. My what-if, the name one thing I could possibly do to make it better in case we get snow. Well, it's a prep that we already have. And most of these preps, whenever I go through them the first time, I'll probably name a prep that I already have. And it would be awesome if down in the comment section you listed a prep you already have. But because you thought about it, it's like, I do actually have that thing. So now when that thing happens, I know to go get the thing that I need. So my name one thing is, if we have no electricity, we don't have our heaters, but we have a wood burning stove. Now, of course, that means we also have to have wood in the house, and dry wood, as a matter of fact, because wet wood is such a pain to light. It takes literally hours to get that thing to light, and the people are already cold, and the power is out, the house will get cold fast. So the wood burning stove is very important, but also having the wood to burn in it. So the other prep, the if I need to expand here thing, see, I've got my wood burning stove. If I need to expand, I would say, and wood to put in the wood burning stove. So do I need to do research for this one? No, not really. I mean, I could probably think of a couple of different ways to light it, because maybe the way that I need to light it then wouldn't necessarily be available. But we do have a few different ways of lighting it. For those of you who didn't know, just trying to straight light up a log of wood is not necessarily going to happen. You actually either have to have something that starts a significant amount of heat on the fire, or you have to use small pieces and gradually build on those small pieces until you can catch an actual log. You can't just like stick a log into the fireplace and put a lighter to it and expect it to work. So if you are one of those people who thought that, who just said, what, that's not the way that happens, you probably need to do research. And that would be your what if. Your prep for your what if is to finding out how to actually get a wood fire going, assuming you have a way of heating yourself with that. And who knows, you might actually think, well, I've already got a wood burning stove. What's one thing that I don't have that might help me out? If I was to think of one other thing that I could think of in this house that we currently don't have that would be useful if we didn't have power or because we don't have heat. And I would think extra blankets would probably be a good idea, because now that I think about it, we don't actually own a whole lot of blankets. We used to. Over the years, we've given a few of them to the dogs whenever they've gotten a little bit ratty, and the dogs have, of course, a bit alleviated our problem of having too many blankets by chewing them all up. So we don't actually have a whole lot of blankets. I would think that would probably be something that I would need to probably do, is buy a few extra blankets. That would be a prep I don't already have. I'm going to say, as of right now, I don't need to do any extra research on this one. We light a fire basically every single day. It's below 50. Does this help in life? Yes. Because it doesn't necessarily have to snow in order for your power to go out. It might sound weird, but there's a lot of places around the world that have regular rolling blackouts, like South Africa. I know of a content creator, and they have rolling blackouts every single day for like 6 hours. Has a problem with their electricity power plants, I guess. I'm not exactly sure why they have to do them. I don't think most of the people who live there know why they don't have electricity. They just do rolling blackouts. And that was actually subject of talk before, when certain processes were happening in the world and they're talking about shutting down plants without actually having backup power supplies in case of other what ifs. So yeah, I would think this is a definite, could be useful in case power ever goes out. It takes hardly anything. It can be something as minor as someone's car going off the road and hitting a power line, and your house and everybody else on the block's house's power is out for a few hours. Possibly even a day, depending on how rural you are. Or it could be something very, very significant, like, I don't know, China hacking, or
target neutralized.
It could be something very, very significant, like, I don't know, people hacking into the power grid, or solar flares, or an EMP, big booms, and all that kind of stuff like that. A lot of things could actually affect whether or not you have power. And the whole world would be a threat if people did not have coffee makers. I'm getting off on a tangent. Okay, so the final thing on this. We have already gone through everything else. The only thing that I have not covered is the tinfoil hat rating. For me, this tinfoil hat rates a 3. Possibly a 4. I put 4 on here. I'm going to say a 3, only because I'm also taking into account that we may not get snow on Christmas. We could get snow in, say, February, which is usually when we get our snow, is January and February, if we're going to get it at all. So 3 and 4 on the tinfoil hat thing, it's not likely. We usually go 3 or 4 years, possibly 5 years, before we see any kind of substantial snow. Like, we might get flurries, but it won't stick. So you might live in an area where this tinfoil hat rating would be a 1, because you get snow every single year, and the possibility that one of those snowstorms could turn into a blizzard is a real threat. If you get snow on a regular basis, the fact that you might get snowed in could be a huge threat. Now, is there a different tinfoil hat rating for us not having power? Seeing as how our power fluctuates on a regular basis, that's a 1 on the tinfoil hat. That's bound to happen. As a matter of fact, I've got a backup battery supply because it happens so regularly here that I have to keep my computer and everything on backup battery because we have brownouts for one reason or another. Haven't figured out why. But that is the what if for this week. Let me know down in the comment section what your preparation is going to be and what exactly you're what ifing about this. Because while I might be talking about what if White Christmas, what if this part of the White Christmas part that you may not be completely comfortable with? Maybe you're completely prepared for the snow, but you're not necessarily completely covered for the power outage. You might be completely covered for the no power, but you're completely not covered for, I don't know, if you got solar panels and your solar panels are working and you've got backup batteries, you might be covered for the electricity, depending on how bad the snow gets, because it might cover up your solar panels. But if you've got enough backup battery or a generator, you might be okay. Have you considered a wood-burning stove? Do you have a wood-burning stove in that area to help you stay warm? Probably if you already have those other preps, you might have one, but just in case, you never know. Let me know down in the comment section. I would love to hear you guys' expertise on this, what preps you guys are doing for your holidays, for your power outages, for the snow season. I will see you guys next time. You have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, and you stay shiny. Bye!